The rumble of motorcycle engines echo through the darkness as a convoy of fiercely determined riders tears down a lonely stretch of road. The air is thick with the smell of gasoline and rebellion. These are not your ordinary bikers. They are the notorious Hells Angels, and loyalty is their #1 rule. So how can a person get into this notorious club? Let's take a ride into the video and find out. The Hells Angels Motorcycle Club, often known as the HA or Red and White, is a global outlaw motorcycle club with over 6,000 members and 467 chapters in 59 countries. They predominantly ride Harley-Davidson motorcycles. In the United States and Canada, they are incorporated as the Hells Angels Motorcycle Corporation. Notably, many law enforcement and intelligence agencies, such as the U.S. Department of Justice, the Canadian Criminal Intelligence Service, the Australian Federal Police, and Europol, regard the club as an organized crime syndicate due to their involvement in illegal activities, making them the world's largest outlaw motorcycle club with a notorious reputation. But why is a biker club being targeted as an organized crime syndicate? Before we find that out, let's look at how this brotherhood came into being. The origins of the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club provide a fascinating glimpse into the birth of a subculture that combined a love for motorcycles, a spirit of rebellion, and a quest for brotherhood. In the aftermath of World War II, California saw the emergence of the Hells Angels. It was 1948 when the very first Hells Angels chapter was established in Fontana, California. This chapter's inception can be attributed to a group of World War II veterans who were united by their shared passion for motorcycles, with a particular fondness for Harley-Davidson bikes. These veterans were seeking an outlet for the camaraderie and thrill they had experienced during the war, and they found it in the world of motorcycle riding. One of the club's early legends suggests that the name Hells Angels was inspired by the 1930 Howard Hughes film titled Hells Angels. Arvid Olsen, one of the club's founding members, reportedly appreciated the movie's depiction of adventurous and daring aviators, and as a result, they chose to add an extra L to Hell, officially becoming the Hells Angels. This distinctive name was accompanied by an iconic winged skull logo that would become synonymous with the club. The early Hells Angels members were drawn to more than just the thrill of riding. They were attracted to the sense of freedom that came with motorcycles, the open road, and the rebellious lifestyle. This lifestyle was also marked by their distinct style, including leather jackets adorned white patches and the practice of riding tagather in a formation, reminiscent of military riding clubs. The use of patches and insignias not only helped members identify each other, but also conveyed a sense of unity and brotherhood, something deeply cherished by the club. As the Hells Angels grew, they began to capture the imaginations of many. They were not just a motorcycle club. They represented a counterculture, a way of life that was opposed to the norms of post-war society. But how did this beautiful bond between brothers get into violence? As the club grew, so did its reputation for nonconformity and defiance. They were often involved in street brawls and confrontations with other motorcycle clubs and law enforcement, earning a reputation as outlaws. This notoriety only fueled their mystique. The Hells Angels Motorcycle Club has gained notoriety over the years due to its involvement in several violent events and criminal activities. While not all members are criminals, the club as a whole has faced allegations of organized crime and a reputation for violence. Hells Angels chapters have been repeatedly implicated in criminal undertakings, such as drug trafficking, extortion, and arms smuggling. The club's dark associations have resulted in the conviction of some members for serious offenses, including murder. The Hells Angels also have a storied history of violent clashes with rival motorcycle clubs, including the Outlaws, Bandidos, and Mongols. These confrontations have often escalated into dangerous shootouts, brutal stabbings, and other acts of violence. Such violent rivalries have solidified the Hells Angels' reputation for lawlessness and contributed to their notoriety. And the Altamont Free Concert incident changed their name forever. The 1969 Altamont Free Concert is infamous for a violent episode linked to the Hells Angels. Hired as security for the Rolling Stones, the Angels clashed with concertgoers, resulting in the tragic death of Meredith Hunter, a young man in the crowd. This incident cast a dark shadow over the club. tarnishing its image and serving as a stark symbol of the darker aspects of the counterculture movement in the 1960s. The tragedy underscored the perils of mixing a rebellious spirit with the raw power and unpredictability of the Hells Angels, leaving an indelible mark on the club's history and its association with violence. The Hells Angels have also encountered a series of legal battles entailing the prosecution of both individual members and entire chapters. These legal confrontations have frequently revolved around allegations of criminal behavior, encompassing drug trafficking and violent activities. Law enforcement agencies globally have allocated significant resources to investigate and bring Hells Angels members to justice. The club's notoriety and associations with organized crime have spurred a relentless pursuit by authorities seeking to curb their illegal activities, leading to arrests, trials, and convictions in an ongoing effort to hold the club accountable for its actions. But did you know that the Hells Angels have to follow a strict rule known as the Code of Silence? The Code of Silence within the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club is a strict and unwavering principle that members are required to follow. It mandates that members should not cooperate with law enforcement, reveal club secrets, or provide information that could incriminate fellow members. This code is enforced to maintain solidarity and protect the club's activities from legal scrutiny. This code of silence makes it exceptionally challenging for law enforcement agencies to gather evidence against the club and its members. So, what does it take for a person to get into this club? The process of becoming a full-fledged member of the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club involves several important stages and requirements. Prospective members, known as prospects, must meet specific criteria. This includes possessing a valid driver's license, owning a motorcycle with an engine size of over 750 cc, and exhibiting the right combination of personal qualities. The club has strict rules and excludes individuals with certain backgrounds, such as child molesters and those who have applied to become police or prison officers. Intravenous drug use is also forbidden among club members, but it's not sure if these rules are always followed. Becoming a full member is a rigorous process. Prospects must be unanimously approved by the current full members of the club. Before this vote, the prospect usually travels to every charter within the sponsoring charter's jurisdiction to introduce themselves to each full patch member. This allows voting members to become acquainted with the prospect and ask questions before casting their votes. A formal induction follows, where the prospect affirms loyalty to the club and its members. The top Hells Angels rocker is awarded at the initiation ceremony, and this step is often referred to as being patched. Did you know that historically, the Hells Angels have not allowed women to become full members? But it's important to note that even after becoming full members, the patches worn by members remain the property of the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club, not the individual. Upon leaving the club or being ejected, a member is obligated to return their patches to the club. Additionally, members are required to pay dues, attend mandatory club meetings, and participate in motorcycle runs. Chapter meetings, known as church, are typically held at clubhouses or member residences. Dues and fees help finance club activities, including motorcycle runs and funerals, as well as cover travel costs for club officers attending state and national meetings. Some members may become exempt from paying dues after a specified period of club membership.